must be another way.
We love you, Mr. Landon.
Alright, Mr. Landon's class, this is a problem that we are going to solve.
Okay guys, we got 15 pencils right here, and we're gonna take away 5 of them. Alright, now we have 10 left, and that is the answer.
Hi, I'm Austin, and welcome back to your local math news.
There's a global issue going around where people have yet to solve number 49 on the CAASPP review.
Take a look at our fellow community member trying to solve this problem.
Reese, can you determine the line of symmetry for this function?
Well, that didn't go well, but we are here to help.
As we all know, when there's negative numbers in parentheses, you bring them down to be positives. Therefore, negative 3 and negative 5 turn down to positive 3 and positive 5. When you put them on a graph, it looks like this. As you can see, there's a line going through the middle of the parabola, which is number 4, which makes the line of symmetry equal to 4. We are glad to help with this global issue. See you guys next week on your local math news. Bye!
Convert x squared plus 6x plus 10 into vertex form. To find vertex form, you use completing the square. To complete the square, use a diamond problem with 10 over 6. This does not work, the math just doesn't add up. To find a perfect square, take the b value, which is 6, divide it by 2, and then square it, which in this case equals 9. So you add 9, but if you add 9 to one side, you have to subtract it from the other side. So that's 10 minus 9. Now you can do a diamond problem with 9 on top and 6 on the bottom. This will give you 2 roots of 3. You would then write this as x plus 3 times x plus 3. This equals y equals x plus 3 times x plus 3 plus 1, because 10 minus 9 equals 1. And you would add this 1 to the end of your equation. You can then simplify this expression as y equals x plus 3 squared plus 1. And this would be your answer to this problem. Thank you.
Are you smart? Mm-hmm. Do this math problem before explaining it. I'm gonna twist all your bread. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna describe the transformation of f of x equals e to the x to create g of x equals e to the x plus 7 minus 4. Now here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go left 7 because that's addition. So you're gonna go left 7. And then what's next you're gonna do? You're gonna go down 4. You know why? Because that's the y-intercept. It's the y-intercept right there. So you're gonna go down 4 because you're subtracting. So that is your answer. I'll get you next time. Free answer, boy.
Okay, what's this?
It's a math problem. Solve it.
I don't want to study for my math test.
Too bad.
Alright, I'll do it so that I don't have to lose my turn.
Okay, so see, first you have to FOIL the problem. So after you've drawn your lines to show where you're foiling, you start multiplying. So here, 6 times 2 is 12, right? And then you have to do 6 times 2 and 5 times 7 separately because square roots are different than just regular whole numbers. They're not like terms. So then 5 times 7 is 35, and it's a square root, so you have to keep it like that. And then here, -3 times 6 is -18. And then there's no root here, so then it just stays a root 5. You don't change that part. And then here, -4 times 2 is -8. And then there's no square root here. That's a like term to multiply to the square root 7 over here, so you just leave it as square root 7. And then here, -4 times -3 is positive 12. And you're done. So now I choose
Hola, soy Dora. Today we're going on an adventure. It was supposed to be in the woods, but it's muddy, so no. In our boots! Let's get to the problem of the day. Boots, can you get my map?
If there's a place you gotta go, I'm the one you need to know.
Let's find the missing pieces. Where is it? There it is. Let's go find the other one. Where's the second piece?
Swiper, no swipe!
No swiping! And now we have all the pieces. But what does it mean?
Alright, so our equation is 3 over x equals 18. So first we want to set the problem up and then cross multiply, so make it 18 over 1. And then after you cross multiply, you'll get 18x equals 3. Divide each side by 18. 3 divided by 18 is 1/6. And that's your answer.
The graph of f of x equals e to the x power looks like this. Thank you, Casey, for demonstrating. Graph g of x equals e to the x plus 7 power minus 4 looks like this. How do you get f of x to look like g of x? Good question. You simply take the plus 7 in g of x, which means move 7 places to the left on the x-axis, and the minus 4 and move it 4 places down the y-axis, and then f of x will look like g of x.
The negative causes the parabola to flip over the x-axis. Negative 3 causes it to move to the right 3.
Do you like my dog?
No, he's ugly.
You're so negative.
You can't be negative towards dogs.
Ew, Charlie, Abby, your guys' room is so messy. Ugh. Abby, I just cleaned this apartment yesterday and it took me 7 hours.
Well, I cleaned it the day before and it was 6 hours.
I wonder how long it would take us if we did it together. Okay.
Abby and Charlie are roommates. Abby can clean their apartment in 6 hours. Charlie can do it in 7 hours. If they work together, how long will it take them to clean their apartment?
To figure this out, you have to put how much of the room they'd get clean in an hour into a ratio, with x being the total number of hours. So add Abby's 1/6 x plus Charlie's 1/7 x and set it equal to 1.
To solve this, you need to get common denominators. So multiply Abby's ratio by 7 and Charlie's by 6 to get a common denominator of 42. Once you have gotten your common denominators, all the denominators will cancel out and leave you with 7x plus 6x equals 42. Once you've combined like terms, divide both sides by 13, where you will get x equals 3.23 hours.
We did it in 3.23 hours.
Minus 6 equals the square root of x. So, you square both sides to get rid of the square root over there, and then you multiply each side by that by itself, and then that gets rid of that, and then you multiply these out with FOIL, and it gets to this problem, and then you subtract the x, first you combine like terms, then you subtract the x from the 12x, so that then it's 13x, and then you put it into the diamond problem, and then you get -9 and -4, which you then put into this problem, which then gives you 9. And the extraneous solution is 4, and here's why. Because when you plug it back into the base equation, then 4 minus 2 equals the square root of 4, and the 4 minus 6 equals -2, and that does not equal 2, which is the answer to this. So when you plug in 9, it equals 9 minus 6 equals the square root of 9, and 3 does equal 3, so that is the actual answer, and 4 is the extraneous solution.
You're an idiot, Kenny.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
If only I had smart math experts to help me on this question.
Did someone call for some math experts?
So, the first step is to
subtract 60. So, on both sides.
Then what happens?
I don't know. I need another math expert.
Oh, well, you're in luck. We've got another math expert. So our next step is to divide 3 from both sides.
Whoa, I didn't know how to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, smart math expert, so much.
So, to continue with this problem,
Square root so that we can cancel out that 2 power. Okay, so now that we've canceled our power out, we have x plus 4 equals the square root of negative 20.
Oh my gosh! Now what happens next? That's for our other math tutor to decide.
-4 plus or minus plus or minus 2 square root of 5.
List all the numbers that produce a rational number when multiplied by the square root of 6. So if you multiply 3 to the square root of 2, you get 10.39. If you multiply it by 4 to the square root of 5, you get 21.91. If you multiply it by 2 to the square root of 6, you get 12. And if you multiply it by 5 to the square root of 7, you get 32.40. 12 is the only rational number out of these numbers, so C is your answer.